Terrific Tuesday. How are we doing, everybody? It's this guy, Sammy McIntyre, with Moving the Chains. We're rocking, we're rolling. What an absolute beatdown last night. I got to touch on that game. Just an absolute beatdown last night in Baltimore, under the lights. Max Lawson, I'm pulling for you, buddy. I apologize. I picked you guys to win. I thought it would be a closer game than that, but it was a beatdown last night. I know it was 38-30, but just felt bigger and larger gap than that, 48-14 or 48-17. It felt like that last night. And Mike Kesnick and Brody and Derek Solomon, I know you guys are Lion fans, are loving it. Want to give you guys a shout out. Love you guys. But I want to start with this. So Baltimore last night, that was alarming. That was alarming. This Baltimore defense is kind of like Dallas right now. Way too many blown assignments, not knowing your job, giving up chunks. I mean, they blew a lead in the first week. It was 40-25, 4 minutes left. Okay, close this deal, guys. And then that fumble happened, and then the shit hit the fan, and there you go. And then the Cleveland game. You know, Derrick Henry got bottled up. Okay, they beat the Browns. I figured that would happen. And then it's the same shit last night. Is that there's something missing with this DNA of this Ravens team. And listen, I'm a big fan of the Ravens. I'm not a fan, but I respect the absolute hell out of them. I appreciate their model of consistency. They're kind of like the Packers of the AFC. Very good, draft, develop, high-end players. You know, their transformation from Derek or Ozzie Newsome to Eric DeCosta is just kind of transferred. You got Steve Bisciotti, the owner. John Harbaugh's a great coach. But there's something missing in this gene pool. And last night was alarming to me because when I watched the Baltimore Ravens, when I grew up watching them, 2007, they scared the hell out of me, man. M&T Bank Stadium was a raucous place. That was like a house of horrors for Brady. You know, Brady had some success, but it was just always tight. It was always just gritty and nasty, and Baltimore's a tough city. And right now, I don't know what they are. I love Lamar Jackson. I think he's a stud. Now, is he ever going to win the Super Bowl? I don't know. A lot of guys in my life have never won Super Bowls. Dan Marino, Charles Barkley. Great players. They just happen to run into Patrick Mahomes. Or Peyton Manning was great, but he ran into Tom Brady during his prime. It happens. I do think the Ravens are still, you know, they're going to be okay. They got to fix some things. And listen, this felt like deja vu last night when I was thinking about it today, is that the Ravens had these issues last year, right? The first 2 weeks of the year, they were giving up all these big plays down the field. The Chief game, and then my Raiders went into Baltimore and upset the Ravens last year in M&T. I love that game. But there's something more alarming here. And I was listening to Bucky Brooks right before I got on. It's great having you guys on tonight. Is that, listen, I'm not doubting the Baltimore Ravens have talent. They're one of the best talented teams in football. They are. Their offensive line's good. They got defense. They spent a lot of money on it. And I think they spent $100 million on defense between Kyle Hamilton and they got Roquan Smith. So they put a lot of money into this. But, man, I'm watching last night, and I just don't see that Baltimore Raven terrifying, scary, Chucky-like just get the knife out from behind and just gut you. And this is what Max Lawson's been telling me. I don't see it. Now, maybe they changed the corner because this is still a good football team. And listen, they're going to win this division going away. They are going to win this division. I really, truly believe it. Now, this weekend, they got to go to Kansas City, their house of horrors, where the Chiefs, I don't trust them offensively right now. They're going to get some guys back, as I mentioned yesterday. So they'll be okay offensively in Kansas City. But their defense has been rock solid against Lamar. They've kept a spy on them, just like the Lions did last night. I'll get to them in a second. But I felt like, to me, the Ravens, if it's not now, when are they going to get to the Super Bowl? Like, I don't doubt the Ravens' talent. I doubt the poise of this team. Because they need guys in there like Haloti Ngata, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, guys like that say, enough's enough. We're not giving up this big play shit. Enough's enough. And they need to pound their fist and say, pound the table and go, we need to get a fire in our ass and let's go play. So I don't feel it with the Ravens right now. I still trust them as an organization. They're going to win this division. All hope is not lost in Baltimore. You can get the season turned around. Now, can you beat the Chiefs of Kansas City? I don't know. I've been to that place. It's raucous. It's crazy. Especially when Kansas City's good. It's humming. It's one of the best home field advantages in football. So I'm not going to write the Ravens off just yet. I'm not yet. But it was a little concerning last night. Detroit just ran the ball right at your throat, and they just kicked your ass in your home turf. It was just belt up ass last night, and it was a stunner. It was just I mean, I'm thinking of wrestling moves like finishers, the tombstone, and just the people's elbow. It just felt like that last night watching that game. Because the Baltimore Ravens pride themselves in being a bully. The Lions took it to them last night. Because I think the Lions 2 years ago went into Baltimore. This is during Lamar Jackson's second MVP. And smacked them 48-3, I believe it was, or 10. I can't remember the score. But, listen, just to recap, Ravens are going to be okay. They got some work to do. And they got to find a little bit of fire in their ass and get some guys playing. Because this Raven team, I don't know if it's something's missing in that gene pool. Because they have the talent to do it. They got to finish now. And it starts now. No more fucking around, Baltimore. This is your year. You got to go do it. The AFC's wide open. Okay, so after I got off the Ravens and just the shocking thing I saw, I gotta say something. The Lions, to me, I'm so happy. Just for that city and for the Lion fans I know that have just been through a lot of shit. You got to feel happy this morning. And after week 1, I went, this offense looks awful. Oh, no. In the last 2 weeks, picked up right where we left off. Yep, they're looking good. Their offensive line, they're running the ball. Goff's look comfortable. And listen, I doubted Jared Goff as an outdoors quarterback. But last night, he has those kind of games. That's good enough. And the Lions can play with anybody. They can play with Philly. They can play with the Rams. They can play with the Bucks. They can play with anybody. You run the ball like that, impose your will on somebody, kick your ass, punch him in the mouth for 4 hours. That's the football. And I watched last night, and listen, I'm a big Jared Goff fan more than most. And I defended him a lot. The Gruden's QB camp, I fell in love with the kid. His dad was a major league catcher, if most people don't know. It's a fun fact. I just want to throw it out there. Is that when I'm watching the Lions, and listen, they deserve a ton of credit. And listen, Dan Campbell started this thing from the ground up. And listen, not to take a shot at the Ravens and John Harbaugh, but when he took over, they still had a lot of that roster left over. They just had a bad year in 2007, which I'll never forget. I remember this to my dying day. My dad made a deal with me. He said, watch what happens. The Dolphins are going to win this game. They were 0-16, I remember. They were 1-15 that year. And the one win was against Baltimore. And my dad said, watch what happens. They fired Brian Billick the next day. And they did. So that was the time for me. But John Harbaugh got a decent roster. They just need a reboot. They had a down year. That happens in the NFL. Especially for good franchises. Green Bay, Pittsburgh, that happens. So I will say this with the Lions, and I am so happy. Mike Kesnick and Brody and Derek, you guys are big Lion fans, the biggest ones I know. I'm giving a shout out to you guys. I mentioned at the top, love you guys. Is that you guys should be super happy right now. Because this team, to me, is elite. I'm telling you, elite in terms of scouting, developing, finding good players. Dan Campbell, man, that guy is, I'm no Lions fan, but that guy, God, I want to play for that motherfucker, man. He's a baller. He's got his big fucking dip in. He's got his espresso. He's going to bite kneecaps. I love it. And you know what? He fits the city of Detroit. Anybody else in that city? I don't know. Because Detroit's got this jet stream anger, and I'll explain it. When you go in a city that's kind of the weather gets crap, like Chicago, like Detroit, there's not a lot to do. It's not LA. It's not LA. It's not like San Diego where it's sunny and beaches and all that shit. No. you got to go do crazy shit. So I just, listen, I am so happy for the Lions. That was an absolute beatdown last night. And there's a stat out where if Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery have a rushing touchdown, I think it's 11 straight games, they win. And I saw it last night. And listen, if Goff plays like he can, and he's capable of this, if he is efficient, distribute the ball, get it to Laporta, get it to St. Brown, get it to Jamo over the top. He's becoming awesome. And listen, he's still a shipper at times, but hey, that guy plays. And he works his ass off. He's unselfish. That's the other thing I love about St. Brown and Jameson Williams. These receivers, and Laporta's a beast. He's got my name. Sammy, let's go, baby. Woo! Sammy Laporta. But my point is, I just was so impressed last night with the Lions, the way that they ran the football, and I give Johnny Morton credit, the offensive coordinator, the new one that replaced Ben Johnson. He kept attacking. And usually some coordinators, the minute the run game doesn't work, throw it out, let's go. Start slinging that pill. Let's go. We're going to go against the grain. We're usually a run team. Run game's not working today. Let's just start throwing. Nope, not Detroit. They're aggressive. They're tough. They're physical. Dan Campbell doesn't give a rip. He's going to go for it every time. Listen, early on it was dumb. When you're going for it all the time and you're bad personnel. The Lions now have elite personnel. So it makes it worth it to go for it on fourth down, and they did last night. And when they did that 4th and 2 with the kill shot to St. Brown over the top, I went, bang, that's game over. So I just was very, very impressed by the Lions last night. This NFC North, man, in Chicago, if they can get their shit together, they're coming. Minnesota, we'll see what happens with Carson Wentz playing. They're going to be nipping at the heels now. That division's going to be cannibalizing each other. It's a black and blue division for a reason. Tough, physical football teams and the elements. This is what football's all about. I'm all for the aerial assault and all that shit, but sometimes I like nasty, mean football. I like physicality. I like toughness. I like guys just posing their will, kicking your ass. And that was cool last night. And the Lions, shout out to the Lions. They kicked ass last night. Did not see that coming. But Lions, listen, they had some trick plays up their sleeve. I appreciated the kind of gutsy, the kind of moto that they had last night. I just was impressed. I came away going, yep, that's the Lions, I know. Yeah, it was an ugly first week, which most week ones are. But get this team rocking, get this team rolling. Last 2 weeks, they just look like a machine. So, they're only going to go up from here. I am intrigued by the Lions playing Cleveland next week. They should win that game. But I am intrigued to see what that Cleveland defense, which just stymied Green Bay's last week at home in Cleveland, what they're going to do to Detroit. Can't wait for that chess match. We shall see. I want to touch on, so just to recap, Lions elite, Ravens, they're going to be fine, but they got question marks they got to get answered. So, I want to touch on another game. I didn't touch on yet the other day because it's kind of hard when I'm trying to put the titles on and stuff that there's only a 100-word limit. But I want to touch on a game that nobody talked about. But I was texting my buddy Derek Solomon, who's a big Michigan fan. I got to say this. Michigan-Nebraska, it's just so good to have Michigan good. And listen, I keep waiting for Nebraska to be good. I don't think they ever will. Listen, I think they made the wrong move at quarterback, bringing in Dylan Raiola, who, I got to say this. Can you stop dressing like Patrick Mahomes and mimicking everything, homie? You're not half the football player he is. Stop. He went up to shake Andy Reid's hand, and Andy Reid's like, is that Mahomes? No, it's Dylan Raiola, but he's cosplaying as him. It's just the weirdest shit ever. Stop doing it. You need to focus on being a better quarterback. You do all the same shit Mahomes does. Stop. You're half the player he is. Enough. I get you're talented. I see it. But just like the NFL now, you pick the wrong quarterback, it kind of sets you back. And Matt Rule, I don't think he's getting through this year at Nebraska. I really don't. And I like Matt Rule as a college coach. Didn't work in the NFL, but I like him as a college coach. And I think Nebraska's building something. It's just hard when, this isn't Nebraska of the 90s. Like, it's, and they still belong to me in the Big 12. I'm sorry. My brain just goes directly to that because they're right under Oklahoma, Texas, and all that. And Bryce Underwood, listen, that's going to be a work in progress, but that kid has got a lot of horsepower. Man, whoo, it just pops. It's like Sellers in South Carolina. This kid pops. And I'm going to tell you another kid, and I said this the other day. That Maryland kid, we all talk about Bryce Underwood, and all deservedly so. There's 2 freshman quarterbacks coming into next year. They're going to be better. I believe it. With more experience, more time, this kid's going to be better. Bryce Underwood and that kid from Maryland, studs. 3 shows, pop off TV. It was a sloppy game for Michigan. A lot of penalties, a lot of stupid shit. But they got the dub. Sometimes winning is like a perfume. Just spray it and it goes away. In the moment, you got to fix your problems. Yeah, I mean, Michigan's going to be good. I mean, they're going to run the football. They're going to play defense. They're going to put that Harbaugh staple in. And I just think they're going to be good. As long as Michigan's rolling, they got that run game going, and Bryce Underwood continues to get better with his passing. We know he can run. Get the passing better. Watch out, because Michigan could be really good and really dangerous. That's all I want to touch on here tonight. Stay tuned throughout the week. We got a lot more content coming. Football's here, baby. Hope you guys are doing great. Terrific Tuesday. Adios. Godspeed.